We've seen today's 24th. Yes, just yesterday that Yemen was still able to fire a hypersonic missile at Israel that I believe did in fact land. And this is one of the most advanced missiles I think you can have. Maybe you could explain that a little bit too. But I mean, it seems that that's the other factor of this. I mean, as much as people are saying, well, you know, Yemen is just sort of guys wearing backpacks and sandals, that they actually have some very significant technological capabilities.
Absolutely. No, they absolutely do. And their indigenous weapons manufacturing is what has gotten them to this point. I mean, they've taken down 22 US MQ-9 Reaper drones, $30+ million drones, and they're just harvesting them out of the air multiple times a week, sometimes 3 and 4 times in a week, because the Americans need those drones to be flying over Yemen in order to get intelligence on where to drop their bombs, because they don't have any on the ground intelligence, much like the Israelis in Gaza. They're very dependent on these drones. It's a significant use of resources, and it hasn't impacted the Ansar Allah and the Yemeni armed forces' ability to fire on American aircraft carriers, or, as you said, launch hypersonic ballistic missiles that are targeting, yesterday was targeting as far north as Haifa. So they can reach anywhere in Israel, more than 2,000 kilometers away. Some of them have been intercepted. Some of them have been partially intercepted. And in any case, they're spending millions of dollars per round to shoot them down. The THAAD rounds are around $5 million each, and it's pretty similar for the Patriot missile rounds that are involved, and David Sling and the Arrow system. These are United States air defense systems that are moved into Israel. They're not Israeli air defense systems. It's part of the United States air defense array. That's battling, like you said, people say sometimes about the Houthis, like they're in sandals. They would say they're a besieged people. They are fighting the siege on Gaza because they themselves understand what a naval blockade and what a siege on their country is like. They went through it for a decade with the US-Saudi war on Yemen that created unbelievable levels of starvation, the worst in the world. And so you have the poorest country being attacked by the richest country, and you have these Yemeni armed forces fighters using upgrading old Soviet weaponry, creating with component parts new state-of-the-art air defense missiles that are bringing down these Reaper drones. They've taken down 10% of the United States Air Force Reaper fleet.